Hello and welcome to my tutorial about the Quest 3 device. Today we're going to talk about the controllers. These are the way you will interact with the virtual environment, and they are handed, which is to say there's a right-handed controller and a left-handed controller. You need to make sure they're in the right hands. They won't feel natural if they're in the wrong hands, and in fact if they're in the wrong hands, the Quest 3 looks kind of wonky, right? Like one of my arms disappeared. So make sure they're in the right hands. I'm switching them from one hand to the other. There we go. So now, a couple things. First thing, see the little green dots? Those are your battery indicator lights. So keep your eye on those to make sure your controllers have a good battery life so that you don't get, trapped in the VR environment with no batteries. Just kidding. You won't get trapped. Now, the most important button on these controllers, in my opinion, is the pointy finger trigger button. This one right here. That's the most important button, because that is essentially a mouse click. You point this at something and push, and it's a mouse click. If it's a clickable item, you will get essentially a mouse click. The second most important button are the ones here on the sides. These are your grabbing buttons. So in some VR apps, you can reach out and push that button, and now you've grabbed an item. Some items are grabbable in VR. Some are interactable, let's say it that way. Another important concept or tool on these controllers is these joysticks. These are for movement. Now, in this environment, you can move around just by clicking your joystick to the right on either controller. It doesn't matter. You can use the left or the right. If you want to turn the other way, just click the joystick the other way. You can use either controller. Doesn't matter. Now, to move forward, in this particular VR environment, you can't walk. There is no quote-unquote walking. It's also known as smooth motion. You actually have to teleport in this environment. So to teleport, you simply point your controller to where you want to go, push the joystick forward. Now you see the little red line with an X on the end of it. That means you can't teleport there. But if we move it a little closer, it turns into a white line with a circle. That means you can teleport there. So now simply let go of the mouse, or pardon me, let go of the joystick, and you can teleport. Let's teleport back. Let's teleport over by this tree. So see how there's a nice white line with a circle at the end. Let go. Oops, try again. Let go, and there you go. You teleport it to this side of the environment. Let's go back. There we go. Pretty neat, huh? Pretty neat. Now, you also have some important buttons here on top of the controller. We have our B button and our A button down here. These buttons do different things in different environments. Depending on what app you're using, they'll do some different functions. You have your X and your Y button on your left-hand controller. They're less used, but some apps do utilize them. Another fun fact is the joystick is a button. If you have the controllers in your hand and you push down, you'll hear it click. Some apps will use the joystick button as well, and it's actually a very convenient button to have because your thumb's already on the joystick. You can just push down. This environment doesn't use the joystick button. Now, arguably one of the most important buttons on the controller is the infinity button. I know it's kind of hard to see right now, but the infinity button is how you exit apps. So let's say you're working inside of an app and you want to get out. You have to hit the infinity button, and a menu will pop up, and you can say quit. All right? But that's another video. We'll get to that in another video. I just want to familiarize you with that infinity button. Okay? So now, that is your quick introduction to the Quest 3 controllers. They are very, very nice controllers, and once you get the hang of using them, they're very, very simple to use. All right, guys, I hope you found that video helpful. If you did, slap that follow button for me. Like this video, subscribe to my channel, do all those fun things on YouTube, and I will see you in VR.